Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there who are watching and to the moms who aren't watching. If you're not tuning in, happy Mother's Day to you too. But today is a very special day that we do celebrate. And unfortunately, we only celebrate globally, we only celebrate moms one day a year. I think we should celebrate moms every day because I'll tell you why. They're weird. Moms are weird. But they haven't always been weird. They were only weird when you came along. That's when they became weird. Because, like, seriously, I doubt your mom had ever picked up anyone and sniffed their backside before you came along. Or I doubt they had ever stuck their finger down in a diaper to see if it was soiled or not. That's kind of gross, but it is definitely weird, but it's your fault. And I say all that in jest, but because moms do some weird things, they do some crazy things, but in all honesty, I think moms are superhuman. And I think we should celebrate moms every day. Every day. I get a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to be a mom every day through my wife, Melissa. And the number of things that she's able to do and juggle and get accomplished to me is just extraordinary. And it blows me away when I stop and think about it. And I don't have enough time this morning to go through all of what she does and just celebrate her and all this other stuff. But juggling her career and being a mom of four, and then the hardest job of all, she has to put up with me and my antics. That's a full-time job in and of itself. But if there's one thing in our house that I can say that she hates and she just can't stand to do, it's laundry. It's laundry. Like our house, we have a house. We've got 6 people living in our house, and it just seems as if like every time you get to this and you fold a piece of laundry and you get to the point, inevitably, there's more. There's always more. There's more coming. There's more on top of this. You get to the last thing and you think, oh, I'm almost done, and then another load. There's always more. But the funny thing about laundry is it's not hard. It's not hard to fold clothes. It's not a difficult task. Most of the work is done for us with the washer and dryer. We just have to fold it. And that's not hard work. It's just time consuming. It's tedious. When I was growing up, I remember I went about an hour away. We'd go on a field trip to this place called the Agorama. It's in Tifton, and it kind of teaches you what life was like before modern technology, how they lived and how they coped and how they did some of the same things that we do today, like laundry without a washer and a dryer. And so they showed us, and they have this spot in there where they take this washboard, and you take your clothes and you get it there, and you have to rub it up and down the washboard, and that's how you clean it. And then you wring it out, and then you hang it out to dry. And I just remember thinking as I was going there that man, there is no way that thing's going to get the dirt out of my baseball pants. Like, that's just not going to happen. But the most frustrating thing to me about laundry and about us about laundry is the completion, right? Because it never truly is completed. There's always more. There's always another load. There's always just it seems like it just compounds and just it almost seems like it multiplies. Like it goes in there and all of a sudden you there's just more. And I started to wonder, like, why hasn't someone invented the folder? Like, you got the washer, the dryer, and then you've got the folder. Maybe somebody has, but it's probably too expensive for me to afford. But I start to think there's got to be an easier way to get this done, because it comes out of the dryer and it's just all this stuff and it's just all these clothes. And I think there's got to be an easier way. And so what do? I go to the only source that we get information from that's reliable in today's world, Google. And so I Googled, I said, better ways to do laundry, ways that we can do laundry better. And so this video comes up, and this mom, she's given like 15 laundry hacks. And so I watch it. I'm like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. And as a pastor, everything that you watch and everything that you do and all your kids, everything that they do has the potential to become a sermon or a sermon illustration. So as I'm watching this and I'm thinking, I was like, there's some life principles in this. There's some life principles in how we do laundry because in what these principles are. And so I thought, here's what we would do. I thought we'd take that, well, her principles, and I'd take a few of them, and I'm going to turn it into a sermon for moms. But here's the thing. This isn't really necessarily just about moms, because this is for anyone who has influence over someone else. This is for anybody who has a position over somebody that they have some sort of. This is for everyone. So I want to give you just a few laundry hacks this morning that we can apply to life, and you can apply to being a mom on this Mother's Day. Okay, here we go. The first one is this: you have to sort the laundry. You have to sort the laundry. Like, this is the first thing. I remember my mom teaching me, you got to take your whites and put them over here, and you take your darks and you put them over here, and then you should take like your jeans and put them in a different pile because they're a different kind of fabric, and then you want to turn this type of shirt inside out, and this is okay to wash just like it is, and you got to wash this on hot and this on cold. Well, in my house, we don't do a good job of that. I'll be honest. We as a matter of fact, we do a terrible job of that. I'll just be straight up and admit it. We do not sort our laundry in whites and darks. And my mom, I'm sorry if you're watching. I know you're thinking I taught him better than that, and you did. I just don't listen. You should be used to that one too. But anyway, but what we do, how we do sort our laundry is by people. Okay. We sort our laundry by people because we have someone in our, let me see if I can find one down in this load. This is actually laundry from it's clean. This is clean laundry, and I went and got it out of the laundry room this morning just to use as an example for my sermon. And see, we have a little guy in our house that wears clothes this size, okay? And the same stains that he gets on his clothes aren't the same stains that my 16-year-old gets on her clothes. If you understand, if you've had a 2-year-old, you understand what stains I'm talking about. You see, you've got to sort these because I have to spray this with some sort of thing to get those stains out. And so how I want to relate this to being a mom or an influencer is raising kids and influencing people is not a one-size-fits-all job. You've got to sort it out. You've got to love people different ways. You have to adapt to their personality. You have to take what they know and what they do and how they react and use those things to influence them. Yeah, there's some general concepts. Like when we're washing clothes, no matter if it's whites or darks or jeans or whatever, you're still going to use soap, right? You're still going to use water. There's general concepts. But you just can't put the same template over every load, and you can't put the same template over every person and expect it to work. Just like you have to sort your laundry. Just like you have to sort these things out. You have to love and you have to teach each child in different ways. The second laundry hack that I'll tell you this morning is this: don't allow your laundry failures to keep you from continuing to wash clothes. Don't allow your laundry failures to keep you from washing clothes. Anybody ever, you've washed this load of laundry and it comes out, and I don't think I have anything in here, but we'll use this shirt right here. It's kind of pink. You come out and you wash clothes, and inevitably everything comes out this color. This is more of a salmon color, but it comes out pink. Like, and you're sitting there thinking, you get it, and you pull it out, and you're like, oh, you're so mad, right? Like, you just get to that point, you're just so upset. And you want to say words that we can't say in church because you've just ruined a whole load of laundry, and you're sitting there and why didn't I check? Why didn't I make sure? Why didn't I check and double check and make sure the sock wasn't in there? This red sock. You see, think if we allowed that one mishap to never let us do laundry again. Think if we allowed that one mishap to never let us do laundry again. We either wore dirty clothes all the time, or we wore them once and threw them out. Think how expensive that would be. You see, we learn from our failures. We learn when everything comes out this color. And we're able to use those as teaching moments for our kids. You can't allow your past to keep you from speaking into those you have influence over. You can't allow your past to keep you from speaking into the life of your kids. I want to read to us this morning probably one of the most popular verses for women in Scripture. It's in Proverbs 31. I'm sure there's a lot of preachers today that are preaching from this passage today for women. And it says this. It says the sayings of King Lemuel, an inspired utterance his mother taught him. He says this in verse 2, says, listen, my son, listen, son of my womb, listen, my son, the answer to my prayers. Now, I want to give us just some underlying context of what's going on here. King Lemuel is only mentioned in this verse of the entire Scripture. And we don't 100% understand or know who King Lemuel is, but most scholars believe that this was King Solomon, who wrote most of Proverbs. And so most scholars believe that this was King Solomon, which would make the writer of these sayings Bathsheba. Now, if you know who Bathsheba is, we find out about her earlier in the Old Testament. But Bathsheba was the wife to a guy by the name of Uriah the Hittite. Now, Uriah was a general in the army. And one day, Bathsheba, while Uriah was off fighting, Bathsheba ended up having an affair with a guy by the name of David. Now, this just wasn't any dude named David. This was King David. This was the most important person in the entire world at that time. And so she had an affair with King David and ended up pregnant, and then ultimately went along with the plot to kill her husband, Uriah. But all those tragedies that happened there, and all those mishaps, and all those faults, and those mistakes that Bathsheba made, she did not allow those failures to keep her from speaking life into her son, to speaking wisdom into you. Moms, you are not your failures. You are not your shortcomings. You are not what you did. Don't allow one pink sock to keep you from doing laundry, to keep you from speaking life into your kids. What you say matters. What you say matters. And that's why I love this, how he starts off, and it says, an inspired utterance his mom taught him. It's an inspired utterance. Now, that word utterance is a Hebrew word, and it's masal. And that's how we pronounce it in the South. It's masal. And so, but this is actually meant like it actually means it's a burden from the Lord. That this message that she's bringing to her son carries weight. She's saying, listen, son, this is important. You have to take it to heart. You see, Bathsheba didn't allow those mistakes that she made in her past keep her from speaking these words to her son and over her son. She learned from him. She understood what it was like to mess up. And if you're sitting there and you're listening and you're saying, well, my mom just doesn't understand though. She just don't get it. I want to invite you this morning to stop. Because your mom has forgotten more about laundry than you probably ever know. And when she speaks to you, and she's speaking about you, and she's trying to help you, she's speaking from a heart of experience, from wise years that she's learned. And I'll just tell you, when your load of laundry comes out this color, you're going to need her. You're going to need her. The next laundry hack I'll tell you is, and it's crazy how this happens in my house, is this. You got to get rid of the sock monsters. Now we have I have a sock here. Inevitably, you get a sock, right? And you can't really see it because I'm wearing a black shirt and it's a black sock, but just trust me, it's a sock. See, it's a sock. There you go. But these socks, inevitably, about one time per load, we pull out. We get to the end of the load and we fold everything, and there's just one sock left over, right? And you're like, what in the world? How does the washer and the dryer just eat these things? Where does the sock? We have a a thing in our laundry room. It's just a plastic bag you get like at Walmart or Ingles or whatever. And we take these socks and we just stick them in there. And then inevitably, probably once a month, maybe once every 2 months, we'll dump them out and we'll try to find like matches or things that are close in that and just say, well, we can salvage that. We'll throw them aside and we'll put them together and we'll say, here, you got to wear these. But it's crazy the amount of socks that just go missing. Like I don't get it. And that's what Bathsheba was telling Solomon in these next few verses, is that she was saying, you got to get rid of the sock monsters. Look at verse 3, it says, do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. It is not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed and deprive all the oppressed of their rights. Let beer be for those who are perishing, wine for those who are in anguish. Now that's a different sermon for a different day that we can cover. It says, in verse 7, it says, let them drink and forget their poverty and remember their misery no more. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and the needy. That's what she's saying here. Is like she's saying, Solomon, you're a king. Lemuel, you're a king. Like you can't allow these things to get in your way. You can't allow them, because what they do, these sock monsters, they come in and they steal your joy and they keep you from being who God's called you to be. They keep you from being who God has designed you to be. You got to get rid of the sock monsters. Now, you got to figure out how to get rid of each sock monster, because each sock monster is different, isn't it? Aren't they? You got to figure out. You get creative, figure out what works. When I was in college and I was playing baseball, one of the things that I had to do for my game socks was I would take them and I would tie them together at the top. And they were long socks. And so I would tie them together at the top and then I'd throw them in the washer and then I'd put them in the dryer and then get them out and just set them aside, get ready for the next game. And so inevitably, though, sometimes where I would tie them would still be dirty. They would still have dirt on them. And so I would be like, man, I wish I could get that dirt off, but I had to make a decision. I had to make a decision in those moments of, is it better to show up with a little dirt, a little uncleanliness on my uniform, or show up without a piece of my uniform? Now, in those moments, I obviously made the decision to show up with a little dirt on my uniform. Maybe it looks like I didn't wash my socks, or it looked like that I had just slid somewhere or something like that. But it was more important to make sure that I matched the team and that I had my full uniform on than it was to make sure that I was making sure that I was 100% clean. You see, it's better to have a little dirt on your uniform than to show up without your uniform. You got to get rid of the sock monsters, because what the sock monsters do is they steal your uniform. They steal who God has intended you to be. The last laundry hack that we'll cover this morning is you got to get everybody involved. You got to get everyone involved in your house. Everybody needs to help out. This is the best thing that we do when we have loads and loads of laundry, where everybody seems to need to do laundry on the same day, and we come in here and all of a sudden we've got this basket and we've got another basket and it just comes on top, and then we've got like a tall basket and it comes up here and we just dump it out. What we do is we dump it out in the middle of the living room and said, let's go, we're doing laundry. And all 6 of us come in. Even the 2-year-old, he comes in and we'll tell him and say, put that there and put that there and put this there. And we're throwing clothes across, say, this is yours and this is yours. Here's more socks. Here's your underwear. Here's this. And we're just getting it done. It seems to go faster. It seems to work better when everyone's involved and everyone's helping. You see, you can't do this by yourself. You need help. And it's okay to ask for help. I'm sure many of you have heard the phrase or used the phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. And man, is that true, right? So moms, don't do it alone. Get advice. Lean hard into your spouse. If your spouse is there, lean hard into them. Lean into your mom. Lean into other moms. Remember, your mom is pretty smart. She's a lot smarter than you thought she was. But the most important I would tell you is this: lean in to Jesus. Lean in to Jesus. He's our guide. He's our shelter. He's our comforter. Look, being a mom is hard. What you do matters. And many times I think it seems as if you fold a shirt and you fold it and you get it folded and then you turn around and you fold something else and you realize this shirt wasn't folded right. And you want to fold it again and then someone comes and dumps more laundry on top of it and you're still looking for those socks and where's that dadgum other sock to this and things are just like it just gets compounded and it seems like your laundry basket's just overflowing and things are just falling out and falling apart and then you realize maybe there's a hole in your laundry basket. And you find yourself saying, wait, gosh, there's more? I got more laundry? Come on. I felt like I was just getting to the end of this and there's more? I want to give you some encouragement today. When everything is piling up, when it seems like there's more laundry and it's thrown on top and there's another basket that comes in and it's dumped in here and there's more baskets and there's more baskets and there's more baskets that's coming and everything is just piling on. It's God's opportunity to continue to compile grace upon your life. Look what John 1:16 and 17 says. It says this, and now out of his fullness we are fulfilled. And from him we receive grace heaped upon more grace. Isn't that good news? Moses gave us the law, but Jesus, the anointed one, unveils truth wrapped in tender mercy. What God is telling us today is just wait. Just wait. There's more. There's more. There's more grace. There's more truth. There's more tender mercy. Grace upon grace upon grace upon grace. Mom, what you do matters. Keep loving. Keep giving. Keep folding the laundry. Don't stop now. What you do matters. Galatians 6. And don't allow yourselves to be weary or disheartened in planting good seeds. For the season of reaping the wonderful harvest you've planted is coming. Take advantage of every opportunity to be a blessing to others, especially to our brothers and sisters in the family of faith. Women, your harvest is coming. Just wait. There's more. Just wait. There's more. Just wait. There's more. I want to read the last two verses of Proverbs 31, kind of where we started this day, and I just want to read it over our women today. I want to read it over them and just let the words just kind of soak into your soul and just listen to them and just take them to heart. And men, if you're there with your spouse or your mom or your daughter or your sister, I want to invite you to do something. And if you think this is weird, I got a message for you coming up on Father's Day. It's going to be a good one. You need to come back. Because this isn't weird. This is called being a leader. Okay? And so, men, I want to invite you to take their hand. I want to invite you to pray these words as I read them. Pray these words over your spouse, over your mom, over your sister, over your daughters. Pray these words in Proverbs 31, starting in verse 30. It says, charm can be misleading and beauty is vain and so quickly fades, but the virtuous woman lives in wonder, awe, and fear of the Lord. She will be praised throughout eternity. So go ahead and give her the credit that is due, for she has become a radiant woman, and all her loving works of righteousness deserve to be admired at the gateways of every city. Moms, women, what you do matters. Keep going, no matter what season you're in. Whether your laundry basket feels like it's just getting filled up and you can never get to the bottom of it, whether it's half full or whether it's completely empty, God is heaping grace upon grace upon grace. Keep showing up. Keep doing what you're doing because God is telling you today, just wait. There's more. Just around the corner, there's more. Father, this morning, I thank you that we have the opportunity to celebrate our women in our lives, the women who have influenced us, the women who have taught us, nurtured, raised, and given us more than we could ever ask or imagine, God. God, thank you for these women in our life. God, may we continue to build them up. May we continue to support them. May we continue to love them. May we continue, just as your word says, we're reaping grace upon grace. May we continue to pour out as much grace as we can pour out upon them. God, that we'll celebrate them and admire them at the gateway of every city. If you're listening this morning and you're a mom or a woman out there and you feel like you're at the end of your rope, you feel like your laundry basket is just being piled and piled and piled and piled and you can't get anywhere, I want to invite you this morning to lean. We talked last week about leaning our ladder. I want to invite you to lean in. Lean into others. Lean into other moms. Lean into your mom. Lean into Jesus. There's times when we come to points in our lives where there's a crossroads. And you may be at that point, and that point might be saying, I don't have it all figured out, and I need help. And so this morning, I want to invite you to take that next step. I want to invite you to take that next step, to lean hard into Jesus. And if you're listening and you've never even leaned into Jesus ever, like never, ever, ever, like you've never taken that step to lean your life into Jesus, this morning, it's the best decision you can ever make. Better than finding a spouse, better than being a mom. It's the best decision you can ever make is to lean your life on Jesus, to have a relationship with Jesus. It won't cure everything, but it'll sure help you understand some things when that grace is being poured out. Grace upon grace upon grace. And so if that's you this morning, I want to invite you just in your heart just to say, Father, I've leaned my life against so many things. I've leaned my life upon the aspect of being a mom. I've leaned my life upon the aspect of being able to do my own laundry, and I can't do that. Jesus, I need you. I want to lean my life on you. I want to lean my life into you. If that's you this morning, just pray that prayer in your heart. And we're celebrating with you this morning. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you so much.